Hello, YouTube friends. I am going to show you how to make some coils today. I had a request for some coils because I was doing a custom pendant. Let me show you guys. So this is the custom that I did, and a friend had requested that I do a tutorial on coils, and it's so much fun. There's so many things you can do with coils. So I have this coiling gizmo. I'm gonna move the camera because it's mounted and I want you guys to see it. It is this right here. Now, not too long ago, I was doing this with a drill, and I am not the best at that yet, so I'm going to stick with the coiling gizmo. So this tool comes with all sorts of different size rods for your coils. So today, this one my husband made for me because I needed a small one for smaller coils. I'd say this piece is comparable to the size of 20 gauge wire. So I'm gonna go ahead and use, you can use 26 gauge, 28 gauge, 24 gauge, and 22 gauge for your coils. I'm gonna use some 28 gauge. This is tarnish resistant. I like to drop the spool to the floor, and I'm gonna take this wire and mount it to this rod because we don't want it to move as we are twisting this. And it doesn't matter which way you go. I'm gonna move this a little lower so that you guys can see. There we go, now it's focusing. So you want to, when you're coiling, I have my hand down here, my left hand, guiding the wire. I'm not necessarily pulling it. I'm just guiding it in between my fingers. And then I just use my index finger to coil. And once you get a rhythm going, it's fairly simple. We just keep going around and around. Now, when you're making a coil and you need a certain length, your first coil needs to be double what you need for your actual length. So if you need a 2-inch intricate coil, your first coil needs to be 4 inches. And it's safe to say maybe do 4.5 inches just to be on the safe side. There have been times where I needed a certain length and I didn't do enough coiling to get my desired length, and I had to make a new one. So my rod is almost coming out of the second hole, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this off, and I'm gonna move you guys back up to the table. Now, I'm gonna take my cutters and cut, but you wanna leave a tail for the next portion of coiling. We're gonna go ahead and slide this coil off of the rod. I did this a little tight, but I'm still able to pull it off. Next, you want to take a piece of 20 gauge wire, and again, your wire that you're putting inside your coil, make it like 3 times the length of your coil to be on the safe side. So just work the wire in there, and then we are going to go ahead and mount this along with this tail from the coil from the original and mount it on this rod. So once you have your coil with your 20 gauge wire bound, I'm going to put this down and move the camera again. We're going to do a little better this time. Bear with me, guys. Okay. So, whoops, didn't mean to bump. I just want you guys to see this. So I'm putting my little rod here back in the coiling gizmo. I want to slide all this down so I get as much coil. All right. When you're coiling, you want to go the direction that the wire wants to go. So mine's going towards me. I'm sorry if the focus is in and out. So I'm just coiling. And I'm about to run out of wire. This is why you guys want to make sure you have a long wire in your coil, which I actually have just enough. So this tail end here, I'm making sure it's up so that I can secure it right at the end of this coil. Then what I'm going to do is take my tweezer nose pliers. We're going to finish off this little piece here. All right, so now we have this. Now, before I take this off, we're going to take this a step further. So here I have 21 gauge half round. This is vintage bronze, antiqued bronze. I'm going to cut a piece that is about twice the length of this coil. Just cut yourself a long piece, really. Got nothing to lose other than just a little bit of wire. So I cut like a foot long piece. So half round wire, one side is flat, the other side is domed. You want the flat side outward, and you're gonna bind the end of it at the end of your coil. These are one of my favorite coils to do. Now, that domed side is going to fill in the gaps of this coil. Now, you don't want to pull too hard because you will separate your coil. You want to just flow the wire naturally. You don't need to pull too hard. just guide the wire around and down the coil. And take your time. There's no reason to rush through this at all. So now I'm going to get this piece out of the way. And we're going to end it off nicely right here at the end. So there we have a really nice coil. I'm going to move you guys back up to the table. We're gonna pop this out of the Gizmo. And when you go to cut, always leave a little bit, especially if you're taking this and binding it to a piece. So this here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this 28 gauge right there. And I'm gonna cut the coil, the end of that half round wire right there. We're just gonna kind of close it off like that. This piece is good if you're gonna attach this. All your extra wire is very important if you plan to slide this coil onto another piece of wire, like if you have a pendant, and then you have this extra wire to attach it to your piece successfully. Excuse me. So this for me is just going to be a bead, a coiled bead. So I'm going to trim here. I am going to use this in something. I'm not sure what yet. I'm okay to trim this right here too. And of course, if you have a file, you can file down that sharp edge. Let me grab mine. This file is my baby. It is vintage. I couldn't tell you where it came from. My husband gave it to me. So I'm gonna file this part so it's not as sharp. So there we have a coiled coil. Love it. So I really hope this helps you guys. Thank you, Lynn, for requesting that I do this. This is a great way to make a basic coil. Remember, always double to triple the length of your first coil for the rest of the process, because you do not want to run out of wire. You cannot add wire to a coil, at least not that I know of. And I prefer not to have to add wire to anything, because less pokies, it's just more structurally sound. Thank you guys again. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment. I love video requests. Please Drop any requests if you have them. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd love to show you guys more. I am the owner of Wire Weaved Uniques. I've been wire wrapping for 9 years. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you love. I appreciate all of you very, very much. And if you want to see any of my handmade pieces, please check out my website, wireweaveduniques.com. Thank you guys. I will see you next time.